Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Fulton Career Cast. Today I have Arev with me, part of Wayfair, doing advanced analytics there, and a BC alum of 17. So let's welcome her to the show. Arev, how's it going?
Hey, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's Tuesday, it's 5:30 and it's pitch black outside, but I can't complain. So,
Well,
how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just preparing for the holidays. We actually had our one of our biggest holidays already of the year at Wayfair. Black Friday and Cyber Monday and everything has already passed. So kind of winding down for the year actually at Wayfair. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Busy times, I'm sure they are, but we'll get into that a little bit more. So,
Yeah.
uh, before we get too deep into it, let's give yourself a little, like, just a little pitch on yourself. Can you tell us a little bit more about, your time at BC, when you graduate, concentrations, maybe some campus involvement?
Sure. So I'm a BC alum, class of 2017. I actually studied math. I was in the College of Arts and Sciences. While I was at BC, I was pretty involved on campus. I was in the university chorale. I was the social director of the chorale. I also was the campus ambassador for Google. I was involved in the tech trek class and some of the excursions that happened with the Carroll School. I what else did I do? I co-founded the Women Innovators Network, BC Win, and generally was involved with the Shea Center, taking or getting involved with the programs that the awesome work that they did. So was really grateful to have taken part in a lot of the awesome work that the Carroll School put on, even though I wasn't, formally a student, but took a lot of classes and got involved with it. So yeah, happy to, be back engaging with the BC campus and the BC network.
That's awesome. Very involved, and we're very appreciative to have you. Could you talk a little bit more maybe about some of your internships experience as a BC student during your time there?
Yeah, totally. One of my first internships, I interned at Liberty Mutual. I interned in an analytics group. So I basically analyzed one of their pilot products, like a new product that they were developing at the time. And so I worked primarily in this, I guess, tool called SAS, which was a front end for this SQL. And so I got my hands a little bit dirty with some technical skills. And so that was really cool because I got immersed into the world of analytics and got to, experience the world of Boston tech a little bit at Liberty Mutual. And that was really a really cool experience. And that was an on-campus recruiting experience as well. I also, through the tech track class that I took, I had the fortune to meet a lot of BC alum at the firms out west in San Francisco. And so, through that, I got to meet some of the folks at many different firms, including Uber, and actually was able to intern at Uber the summer after my junior year in people analytics. And so that was one of the internships that I did. That was a really cool experience as well. I was in San Francisco and I was effectively analyzing not like data around Uber drivers, but like actually employees who worked for Uber. So that's what I mean by like people analytics, like HR analytics. Mm-hmm. That was really, really fascinating. And yeah, and I think that was really cool. But one of the learnings that I had was I really love analytics through those two experiences, but I really wanted to, if possible, be able to work with data that was a little bit closer to the customer, if possible. So, eventually made my way to Wayfair, which is where I work now. And I work with storefront facing data. So, data that is directly from our website and directly from our customers, where customers clicking on our website, how are they engaging? So that's kind of a little bit how my path went, but happy to talk more about that if you want.
Absolutely. So a little bit, so it sounds like you had some great undergrad experience that helped you kind of develop what you were looking to get into. And you said you wanted to work more with the customer-centric data. Could you talk maybe a little bit more about when you first started with Wayfair, how you joined the company, what role was that, and maybe talk a little bit about major duties, some skills used on the job in that first role?
When I first joined Wayfair?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So I've always been on the advanced analytics team, but I have been in a few different, supported a few different areas within analytics. When I first joined, I would say I was really trying to focus on learning as much about our data as possible. So a lot of my initial projects were around basically can you explore our data? Can you, for example, visualize this dashboard for the stakeholder? The stakeholder wants to understand how this metric is trending over time. Can you build a visualization for them that displays this so that they are enabled and empowered with data to make business decisions, and they can really make business or data-driven decisions for the business. So learning the tools that can translate the data that we have in our tables into visuals. So I did some of that. I did some more exploratory analyses to say, okay, our product managers have this idea, or they have this hypothesis around, we think customers are behaving this certain way, but we really want to understand, is that the case? How many customers is this, issue that we think exists really impacting? Is this really a big opportunity or not? Can you go in and size this issue or this impact within our data? So I would do some opportunity sizing and run some SQL queries and really understand and explore within our data, how big of an issue is this? A lot of the first types of analyses I did were around analyzing the results of A/B tests. So, sometimes when we have ideas for our website, we will test them out on a subset of customers before we roll them out to mitigate risk, for example. And so we will see for a certain group of customers, is this new feature performing better than the existing feature that we have on site? And so I'll be responsible for pulling the data and saying, yes, actually customers prefer it, versus no, actually they prefer the old version. So those are some of the first couple of projects. And I would say I still do things like that. And folks on my team do that as well. And it's really cool. I really enjoy those projects.
That's awesome. Now, question for you: when you're looking at if customers prefer the old or the new, are you looking at customer feedback responses, or how do you get that information, if you can disclose that? I don't know.
Yeah. So we have data on what customers are engaging with, what they're clicking, where they're clicking, what they're purchasing. We're able to track what you're engaging with on our website. So as with any website, we are able to collect some of that data. It's called clickstream data. But yeah, so we're able to log some of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And could you kind of touch base on some of the major skills that you use in your current role and what you've developed over time?
Skills that I've developed. And
I've heard SQL and those systems.
Yeah. I would say the technical skills are a big aspect of it. Some of them I had in college and I learned and developed in college. I would say some of the things that I'm most grateful for having learned at BC are some of those technical skills, actually, even the math, for example, having the ability to really hone and develop just the critical thinking and, the ability to think logically about a problem and, you know, break it down into smaller pieces and say like, okay, this is a business problem that we have, but, you know, at its core, like, what is the actual question we're trying to answer? How do we assess like the risks of the actual, you know, solution that we've proposed? Have we thought of all the edge cases? Is the solution that we've proposed actually fully answering the whole question? Just like the critical thinking aspect, I think the math degree and all the logic and the proofs that I had to write, that has helped, as well as like as part of information systems courses and analytics and business intelligence classes that I took through the Carroll School. Actually, I took a course in R, and now I use R at school, and I took some CS classes, intro to Python, and I use Python all the time. So, and yes, I do use SQL day to day, every single day. So some of the technical skills I do use all the time, and I developed much greater proficiency at work, I will say. But yeah, and I would say like also some of the biggest skills that I learned on the job through my 3.5 years at Wayfair are related to like the business acumen portion. So of course, like I didn't necessarily have a background in e-commerce before I came to Wayfair. So, you know, learning how the industry works. I mean, Wayfair is awesome because it's like its own, like, has like 10 different kinds of businesses within Wayfair. Like, it's a tech company, it's an operations company. I mean, we ship all these different things. We build our own ad tech. We have our own marketing, like we have our own data science, like we have everything within Wayfair, and like learning how each of those different businesses basically works within the company, and learning how analytics can support each of those functions. It's really cool. And that business sense, I think, is one of the biggest things that I probably couldn't have learned fully until I got to Wayfair. So that's something that I'm always going to keep improving upon. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Would you say for a young BC student, any qualifications that they want to come and work for Wayfair one day or intern there, any qualifications that they need or anything they should be looking to do while they're at their time at BC?
Well, we're hiring. I mean, I think it depends on the role. I would say like check out our career site. But I don't know. I mean, what I personally value in my coworkers is like an intellectual curiosity. Like I think it's great when I have coworkers and folks join the team and they're just really eager to learn and to dive into projects and understand how things work, and to learn not only about how our team works and about our data, but about how our projects and our analytics team and function fits into the broader whole, of like, okay, once I deliver this analytics project, what is its impact on, you know, the product roadmap, and, you know, how does this help our data science partners and our engineering partners? So I think that curiosity and that appetite is something that is really great. And I think BC does a great job of, you know, getting students in the door who have that, but also encouraging that and developing that. So,
awesome. Yeah. Intellectual curiosity is key, they say. So, yeah. If I'm a student, or before I ask that, I know we talked a little bit about could you kind of talk a little bit about kind of your role with, you know, customer analytics now and just coming out of the busy season of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, et cetera?
Yeah. So I actually am on the promotions analytics team, promotions meaning sales. So my team is actually part of the team that analyzes the like Black Friday and Cyber Monday holidays. And so we are particularly involved with, you know, analyzing how customers are reacting to certain treatments that we have live on site that are specific to holidays, like, for example, like flash deals. So when you go to a site and you have like a little countdown timer that's like, oh, you have to act now, and there's a little countdown that's like this product is only on sale for a certain amount of time. my team will look at how customers are engaging with that. So our analytics team will, for example, we set up a monitoring plan to say like, okay, we know that there's going to be a lot of stuff going on over this holiday. Also, it's a holiday. So like, we're going to be, like we have a day off to celebrate with or to be with family, so here is the plan for keeping a track and keeping an eye on, the data over the site. Here are the data pulls that we're going to have. Here are the scripts we're going to write in advance. Here's how we're going to like keep an eye on all the things and make sure that nothing's like crashing and burning on the website. And here's how we're going to keep our stakeholders and keep our partners informed of like the data and the, what's going on the website. So just making sure we have like a monitoring plan in place for everything that's going on. That's the role my team played. But coming out of it now, we're like road mapping for planning ahead for the next year and all that jazz, all that fun stuff. So
that's good.
Yeah.
So if I'm a student and I find this conversation interesting and I want to touch base with you more, what's the best way I can get in contact with you?
Yeah, I would say LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. Arev. You can follow me. I'm sure my name is probably on this video. But yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn and we can chat more about Wayfair and or BC and anything like that. And happy to chat more. Yeah.
Good. Well, we're appreciative of your time. Thank you so much, especially coming out of busy season. I'm sure it's been hectic.
Of course. Thank you so much. I'm always happy to chat more. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I wouldn't be where I am without the BC network and all the support that BC has given me and BC alum have given me. So grateful to everyone who's helped me get here, and hopefully I can pay that forward one day. Yeah.
Thank you. We're grateful for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Thanks for joining.
All right, see ya. Bye.